Thank you for completing those questions. This last video will be much shorter than the previous two. Please imagine again about baby Natalie and her parents Tanya and James. Instead of mild X, however, please imagine that the newborn screening discovered that Natalie was a genetic carrier for disease X. Carrier is a medical term for when a person has one gene for a condition that requires two genes to turn into a disease. Most of our genetic code has two genes for everything, one from our mother and one from our father. Most genetic diseases appear in the same way. Carriers are not affected by their gene, but they can pass it on to their children someday. Lots of people are genetic carriers for something or other. In this case, the future baby who would be Tanya's grandchild could end up with disease X. Here is how this would be possible. If both parents are carriers, then there is a 1 in 4 chance that the two disease genes will come together and the baby will have the disease. And there is still a 1 in 2 chance that the baby will be a carrier, although the boxes are on different sides of the square. Every baby that is born has a completely random chance of any of these 4 combinations. There are many diseases that act in this way: sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, Tay-Sachs disease, and many others. People also carry genes for characteristics besides diseases, such as blue eyes. A person needs to have 2 special genes called recessive genes in order for the eyes to be blue, but brown-eyed people can have a hidden gene for blue eyes and pass this on to their children. Now, do you remember from the previous video how Tanya was confused and anxious about the mild X result? Many parents develop similar problems when coping with the idea of a carrier infant, even though the baby is essentially fine. The common thread with both situations is how hard it is for people to understand what the result may mean for their future. Many parents worry that the carrier infant will progress to mild X or disease X, even though in our story this isn't possible. Now, because of parents' risk for confusion and emotional problems, experts have considered the same 3 policies for carrier status that we have discussed in the second video for incidental findings. For example, some experts think that the carrier result should be withheld from parents because knowing wouldn't benefit the child, and it can lead to emotional problems. Some people say that the carrier result would be important for parents to make informed reproductive decisions, but research has shown that many carrier parents go ahead and have babies at the same rate as non-carrier parents. So once again, we're considering the 3 policies from the previous video. The policies of withholding information, fully informed parents, and parents deciding for themselves. Try to think about the story of baby Natalie, your best friend Tanya, and Natalie's father James. They're still worried and confused, but this time Dr. Jones has said that there is a 0% chance of health problems. To continue, please click the next button below.